Warning: the following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Hey, everybody. We want to welcome everyone to episode 229 of the Coach's Box. I'm Jim Powers. It's great to be back with everybody here tonight, and we're going to bring the guys on here in a moment. But I just wanted to take a quick second for a lot of people heard the news last week about Brian McKenna. Brian was not only a very, very dear friend of mine, but a very dear friend to a lot of people in the sports community, did sports talk radio for so many years, and then, turned his talents to philanthropy and helping out with Backstoppers and with the Hero organization and a lot of different things. And Brian was tragically killed last Saturday morning here in South City. It was a shock to a lot of people. Shock to me personally. Brian, like I said, Brian's a great friend, and I just wanted to take a quick minute and you know say thank you to Brian, not only for helping me to get to where I was with on the sports radio side of things. Back when I first started, he was one of the first guys that I had ever met in the industry, and he took me under his wing and really just helped me out. And he was the biggest cheerleader for a lot of people, and especially our show. Whenever we would be at the '09 or we would be at the Mac, Brian would always stop in, say hey, and sit there and listen to us, and make some cracks, some side remarks, and all that fun stuff, because that's what Brian does. So I just want to take a moment and just this show tonight, a little bit of honor goes to Brian for what he has done. And I know he's looking down on all of us. And they're going to have a celebration of life at the end of May here in South City, which is exactly what Brian wanted. He doesn't want people crying. He wants people having fun, celebrating his life and celebrating what he did. So if everybody could just take a quick minute, keep the McKenna family in your thoughts and prayers, that we greatly appreciate it. But Brian, we miss you. We love you, brother. And I know you're looking down on all of us. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to that. So let's get back to talking some fun stuff. Come on in, boys. Let's play.
Hey, look, there's Jim.
Who?
Who is this guy who just did our whole intro opening? I'm telling you right now. It's so weird seeing 5 boxes up here.
Yeah, no doubt. But you guys, some of you knew Brian and knew of Brian, and it was really a shock last Saturday morning. I was actually getting ready to head to Evansville when my phone started blowing up with, wasn't 100% sure if it was him. And then once we got the confirmation, it really knocked a lot of people on their heels. And like I said, he would always stop down when we were doing the show up here in South City and hang out with us. And, it was really, really a sad weekend here in South City, from what I understand.
Yeah. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. And I remember him coming into the Mac and making some jokes, but that's okay. We enjoyed that, and that's kind of what we do anyway. So it's definitely a welcome thing, and we're like I said, it's when that happens, I mean, you give your thoughts and prayers, and it's tough. It really is.
And I had met him. Ryan McKenna was from
Mm-hmm.
this area down here, and so I had met him before. Very pleasant to talk to. Such a nice guy. very outgoing. He lit up a room when he came into it. So, prayers out to his family. Tragic thing that happened. And, that's about all you can say when things like that happen.
Yeah. And the celebration is going to be on May 31st. They're literally shutting down Macklin Avenue from the corner where the Mac is all the way down to where Stan's is. And they're going to have a parade. They're going to have music and all of that kind of great stuff. And I think they're doing it. It's exactly what Brian would want. And I'm sure somebody will break out a karaoke machine at some point, and Brandy will be sang because that's the song that Brian sang every week. He would come down to Stan's. So, but if anybody wants to remember Brian that knew him, any of our listeners, May 31st, it's a Saturday. I'll be there without a doubt. Hopefully, you guys can make it up, and we'll really celebrate Brian's life and everything that he's done for a lot of people, not only in the St. Louis metro area, but all over the country.
Absolutely. Well, I hate hearing the subject change, but that's probably what Brian would want. He wanted us to be happy, so we got to talk about some happy stuff.
Well, I'm just waiting for Jarvis to get his shots in at me since I haven't been here in a little bit. So that's all.
We might
as well just
start
with that. We might as well just start because that's exactly what would happen.
I voted you off the island. They wouldn't go along with it. I told them, I was like, dude, he's no longer part of the coach's box.
Jarvis is so surprised. He's got all of his gear on backwards right now. So he's just so surprised that Powers is here that he just cannot believe it.
Would you fix your camera, Jason? Act like you've done this show before.
I don't know why it's like that.
Ain't got enough apple juice.
Nope.
I don't
know how to do it.
Look, you got to do the little gear thing.
Settings.
Don't have it. It doesn't have a gear thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does at the bottom of the screen.
I fixed it for him. I can fix that. I have the power. I'm like freaking He-Man over here.
So when I'm looking at it, it didn't look anything. So
yeah, but everybody else. But that's okay, Jason. Your world things aren't backwards.
I'm only worried about myself.
Yeah, I know. Hey, guess what?
I didn't have this hat on it. I went and took it out of Dylan's room. Found it. I just had the shirt.
It's sharing stuff with your kids. Yeah,
that's
nice.
Well,
sharing is caring.
Both got
Here's
jug
the thing,
heads.
guys. Hey, look, the Blues are losing. I don't like it.
Not for long.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. I know.
It's
that has not happened in the last 10 games where they've been losing at some point and then figure out a way to win.
I'll say they've started the last 3 or 4 of the streak. They've been behind.
Yeah. And you know what? Go ahead.
They'll find a way to pull themselves out of it in the third period.
Oh, Hofer should have blocked that.
Hey, you don't need to play-by-play here, okay? They can watch the damn game if they're going to do it. Would you bring yourself back in? Bring it back in. Come on. So the Blues have won 10 in a row. I believe the franchise record is 11. I was there the last time they won 11. It was freaking awesome. And, yeah, it has a lot of people thinking it's like 2019 all over again. Fellas, thoughts?
I'll take it. It's flipping awesome.
That's a lot of insight. Thank you, Kevin.
Yes.
Fly ball.
He's not the best color analyst in the league for nothing, folks.
I really want to ask Zach after that tidbit of just nugget of knowledge what he thinks about it, but Zach doesn't watch a damn bit of hockey.
Nope.
I listen to some of the national media, and there's some national media guys saying that this isn't a fluke, that this team's for real, and some of them think that they could do like we did when we won it last time.
I know a lot of people kind of at the time didn't really like the change at midseason with bringing Montgomery in, but I think it was the best move. I mean, look at the way that they have played since he has come in. He's brought his style in, and they seem to really, really thrive in the style of hockey that Jim Montgomery has brought to this organization. And you know what? The young kids are playing. I mean, their defense
Ah,
has been
tied up,
really
baby!
good, and there it
Woo!
is. But Bolduc has been terrific. I really like what they're doing, and offensively, it's more of a free flowing type of offense. They're not dump. It's not the old, you know, dump into the corner and try and dig some stuff out. They're really, really doing some great things, and
Busnevich.
Well,
Busnevich has been playing out of his mind. I think this team can make a serious run.
and they're doing it without probably their best defenseman in Parayko, who was playing the best he had played his entire career when he got hurt. The question is, you're playing this well. I know Parayko's coming back. Do you change the lineup?
I think
you have to, but
I mean,
but
yeah,
I'm like,
go ahead.
do you mess with this?
I think you got to have them in
for the winning streak.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I think you need to have the experienced person, especially in a stretch run, and when you get into the playoffs, that Parenko is. So I think I think he's going to be there. I mean, here's what what will happen once Parenko comes off the IR. I think the kid from Minnesota that they just signed and is getting a little bit of playing time. I think he had 10 minutes on Tuesday night and didn't do a bad job. But I think Parayko will go in for him, and then they'll juggle things that way because I think it's going to be a little bit easier.
But they're going to have to. He's a winger. Parayko's going to go in. I mean, if Tyler Tucker or Nick Leddy might come off, but I don't know. What it does give you is it gives you more depth, which is always really nice to have come playoff time. You can rest some people. You can play matchups more likely, especially with your defensive pairing. If you need to be a little heavier, you can
Scored again, baby.
You can leave. You need to go a little heavier. You can leave Tucker in the lineup.
Hyru.
So
33rd goal of the year.
It just gives them options.
So you what?
We like options.
Well, it looks like they woke up in the second period. That first period was bad.
All I had to do was say they were losing, and all of a sudden they were winning.
All I had to do was have
and what did I say? That they've been doing it, so they're going to battle back.
I think the biggest stat that I saw was Dylan Holloway has 51 points in the last. What was it? Like he's been on fire since Montgomery took over. What a steal!
Off-season acquisition of the year.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes, absolutely.
In the NHL, off-season acquisition in the whole NHL.
Absolutely fleeced Edmonton. I love it.
But
both of them, Broberg and him.
But I think there's something else.
Cam Fowler.
It's it. Joe Boo. Thank you, Joe Boo.
Joe Boo.
It's all Joe Boo.
Just I had to get there. Okay, we were going to go over the players, but then it was, but they might actually have a secret weapon. Zach, you remember Joe Boo, don't you?
It's very bad to touch Joe Boo's rum. Very, very
bad. Yes. So Joe Boo has ended up in the locker room, has his own locker for the Blues. And
locker.
Zach,
he does.
Obviously didn't see any of the stuff when we put it out there. Like, the show art. Here's the show art right there. He has his own locker. His own locker. And I bet you it's not on camera. I bet you he might even have his own rum.
It wouldn't surprise me. Martin Kilcoyne did something on the whole Joe Boo thing on.
You better not stole his damn rum.
I don't know. No. I don't think Bennington was letting anybody near Joe Boo.
Smart.
Because that's kind of turned into Bennington's like the keeper of Joe Boo, I believe. And he's got his own locker. And I mean, it's just some of the comments that the players were making about the whole Joe Boo thing was absolutely priceless to Martin Kilcoyne. So, but yeah, it's all about Joe Boo and the rum, guys.
So is this all 80s references? You go back to what Gloria, that was some 80 reference. Now we're going to
Major League.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think
I would say
Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say, it also, when you see them talk about it and how this kind of developed, this whole Joe Boo thing, the culture that's in the locker room now versus what was there in December is insanely different. And it's pretty much all the same people. It's just a different person at the top of that pyramid in Montgomery that has just fostered this culture that has brought this about.
I just want to know if they've got hats for bats.
Guys.
For bats.
So what,
hats
Kevin?
On the sticks. Are the hats for the sticks?
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jason.
So what Kevin's saying is the Blues needed a new voice to put them over the hump, is what I'm getting. That the Blues did it mid-season, and they needed a new voice.
Yeah, I said
that. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Me and Kevin agree on something.
I just wanted to make sure you pointed out that the new voice.
Yeah. Me and Kevin agree on a lot of stuff, like soccer.
Yeah.
New voices. Big fan of the new voices.
Big fan of new voices.
I got a lot of new voices going on in my head, man. It's all good.
I wish the Cardinals would get a new voice, but never mind.
That's where I thought you were going with that.
Let's keep that at bay for a little bit.
Oh, I was definitely not going to the Cardinals. You knew what I was going with.
So, obviously, the thing about having those things like the Gloria part, having Joe Boo, having all this stuff, those are the things that galvanize the locker room. They can work hard and still have fun. And I thought for many years, it's like the Blues have always had, those independent contractors. I think that was who was it? Doug Armstrong said about some of his players that's all they were just worried about themselves, whatever. It feels like this is a different team just because of not only how they play, but the locker room stuff. And those are those parts that outside of the game, it's not just about getting on the ice and having that chemistry. The chemistry comes from off the ice. And I feel like this is that kind of group again that we, not to say that this is 2019, but I feel like it has that same kind of vibe just on that, where they can kind of be loose, have fun, but at the same time, they play really, really, really hard. And I'm telling you, I agree. I think it's Jim Montgomery all the way.
So let me ask you, what's the philosophical difference? What about the coaching? Again, and we can tie this into the Cardinals maybe in a different segment. What was happening before and what has changed?
He probably because he has a different voice. It's a different voice saying the same crap. And then no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Go ahead, Kevin.
There's a couple of two things here. One, and Jim mentioned it earlier, they're way more free flowing offensively. Yes. It's not a dump and chase type of system. So Montgomery's actually been able to, while the speed of like the Kairos in the world that never really meshed with Berube's kind of heavy game, Montgomery's been able to kind of get into a flowing system where people like Bolduc and Snuggerud will fit into that system to do those types of things. But it's just a credentialed voice at the top that kind of just, he's got the pedigree on it that Bannister didn't have. I mean, you saw it last night when Kyrou kind of, was it in overtime, put that blue line check on somebody after he lost the puck. He didn't pout. He just laid the lick on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, just a bold new voice, changed it around, baby.
It's credentialed too,
Is it?
Yes, very credentialed.
Very credentialed. Sometimes your credentials are not always good to have because it's hard to get hired when you have lots of years on those credentials. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that. I'm kind of running into that right now.
I don't have as many years as you have, so no.
Yeah,
I
don't. No, me neither.
Yeah,
well, I mean, Grandpa, old. Dad, that's
yeah. I mean, it's hard to find a district wanting to give me 25, 26 years. So. Woo! I'll tell you what, Montgomery was a good hire. That was a great hire.
Well, I think it just goes to show that Armstrong wasn't afraid to pull the trigger when he was out there on the market. When Boston, thank God, I love ripping on Boston. What kind of dumb, just absolute dumb ass move that looks like right now.
Middle of the season.
Middle of
the season.
Maybe Boston
firing
needed a
a
new
guy.
voice.
Obviously, you got to talk with an accent because it's Boston. He didn't have an accent.
I've been hearing that's like
Boston. It's Boston.
We got to go to the Garden and watch the Celtics.
Man, that voice stuff's going around like the plague.
It's just that time of year, Jason. It's just that time of year.
Hey, apparently, I mean, they what again? Armstrong has to be the general manager of the year, no matter how they finish right now. And he not only does he fleece Edmonton in the offseason, he goes ahead and hires Bruins' former coach, fires the guy that he just took the interim tag off, and says, that's a better guy. We're gonna go ahead and get him right now. Right now, yeah. Don't care. That's what we're gonna do to get over the hump. And everyone's like, wow, he just did that. And yes, he did. Not afraid.
The Bruins are in dead last in the Eastern Conference.
Yes, because I freaking hate the Bruins.
I hate when that happens.
Last.
I don't.
I hate when that happens.
I don't. The only way it could be better is if the Blackhawks and the Avalanche and the Bruins all found a way to finish dead last and then somehow not ever get the number one pick while they still suck. So
you're almost there. The Blackhawks are in dead last in the Western Conference.
Yeah, which means that they'll end up winning the lottery again. Stupid. That was such a risk.
Is that kid that when we had all those hockey cards? Yeah. How's he doing? Is he any good?
I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's good.
Just doesn't have anybody else around him.
Just on a terrible team.
He's like a best choice Michael Jordan on the Bulls when he first got drafted.
Okay, well,
a best choice version. So I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but he's super talented, like the once in a lifetime generation. Yes,
Blackhawks are still 2 or 3 lottery picks away from being halfway decent, though.
Yes, and that's the problem. Plus, I mean, Bedard's only like what 20 now. He's not even
21. I think.
Is he? I don't even think he is.
I think he's 21.
Yeah.
Bet.
Which is where Snuggerud is at too. So
gentleman's bet. You want to make a gentleman's bet?
No.
Why? I say this guy in trivia. You do not want to bet against him.
I make a gentleman's bet that Jim won't be on here next week. But
why would you do that?
If it's on Thursday, I will not, because I'll be at the Frozen Four watching Boston U play in the Frozen Four next week.
You talk about B-I-G.
Wait. How old did you say he was?
21.
He is 19 years old.
Oh, shoot.
You were way off.
I told you I didn't think he's 20.
Swanson.
Dang.
Well, it was. They made the comment. They made the comment here at the beginning of the game tonight that Snuggerud was 1 year old when Sidney Crosby made his debut at that young age.
Insane.
So there is some 1 year old now that will be making his debut when Connor Bedard is at the end of his career.
Hey, real quick, did you see that when the Blackhawks played at St. Louis last, what the Blues did for Patty Maroon? Did you see
that? Was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, again, you can say what you want. You can hate the Blues and everything else. They are a classy organization.
Mm-hmm.
They always honor former players. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, Joel Quenneville's in the house, baby. They're just showing him on the TV screen.
Hey, so we talked about young guys, but real quick, there's going to be a record broken, possibly in the next 2 games, where Ovechkin is 2 goals behind the great one, and most goals scored. I believe it's most goals scored
in a
in
career.
the NHL in a career.
Yes.
And he's 2 away. How crazy is that? That would have probably been a record that I would not think would have been broken, especially by like an Ovechkin. Now, Connor McNeil and somebody like that. Okay, I think one of
McDavid.
those guys can McDavid.
Yeah, I was like,
Bedard.
who's Connor McNeil?
Bedard. I mean, I think some of
Paul
these young
O'Neill?
guns, some of these young guns can get that record. I never thought Ovechkin was going to be able to chase that down, and I think that's going to be really cool if Ovechkin can get 2 goals to tie it and a third goal to get it here in the next.
I got a
couple
different
weeks.
take, Jim. I have a different take.
Okay.
This just means I'm getting freaking old, man. That's all this means. That people
We're all getting old.
all
Yes.
my idols' records are getting broken. I mean,
Yeah.
Gretzky, man, when he came to St. Louis, that was that was awesome, And
Yeah, don't even remind me.
man,
I hate you, Mike Keenan. I hate you. If
Mike
you
Keenan's-
ever hear this, I hate you. I
If
hope
anybody on the show
you
knows
step on a
Mike
Lego.
Keenan, show this to him.
Please.
Yes,
Oh.
please, because
Mike
he's
Keenan.
not good.
He
Uh-oh.
sucks.
I will say this about the record. It's impressive that he got there. I think he plays 8 or 9 more seasons than what Gretzky did.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I think
Gretzky
that's
also
been the correlation.
Gretzky also played at a time when the NHL was a lot rougher to play in than it is now. Which one's more impressive? Someone playing longer and scoring that much, or someone like Gretzky playing at the time he played to score as much as he did?
Well, I'll tell you the thing that Wayne Gretzky is my favorite hockey player of all time.
Oh, Brett Hall.
Well, that's great, but Wayne Gretzky was mine. So
That's great.
Brett Hall's second in my book, but Wayne Gretzky was the top because Wayne Gretzky did anything with the puck. I'm like, I kind of have a different take because I think he played at a time when the NHL was a little bit more wide open, though, especially offense. And it wasn't until the mid '90s when the dead puck era and attacking people in the neutral zone was kind of a thing. And I think Ovechkin being able to be as consistent as he has been scoring goals. I mean, he averages 49 goals a year right now. That's his goal scoring average. They say that scoring 20 goals in a year is a good year for a hockey player. He averages 49 for his entire career, 49 goals a year per 82 games. That's pretty good. Okay. So he's it's impressive. I hate it because again, I'm a Gretzky guy, but I will tell you this. There ain't nobody going to touch Gretzky's points for a career. No chance in hell. Not possible. Not even possible.
It's the one record. It's the hockey record that's untouchable, like Cal Ripken's games played streak. Never going to get touched. So there's always those records. That one in hockey is the one that will never get touched.
While we're talking hockey, then and someone explained this to me. Snuggerud. Okay, so what? So where was he playing? How did we just all of a sudden sign him? He just shows up. He's playing
California Penal League,
University of Minnesota.
Yeah,
he was at the University of Minnesota, and we had a contract. We had his rights.
We drafted his rights.
Yes,
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So we hold the draft rights to him, and as soon as his season was over, as soon as he lost, the University of Minnesota lost in the NCAA tournament. He signed a 3-year contract, an entryway contract.
Yes.
With the Blues. And so he was able to come on board. He practiced one time and played the next night.
Bruins just got back penalties for just clobbering us.
And he played 10 minutes. I think he had 2 shots on goal, and the one was actually a pretty good shot.
He was on the ice. They put him on the ice at the end on the 6-on-5 on the empty net situation. As a shooter, they put him on the ice.
Yeah.
I love that Zach McVey pose right there. Keep that up, Zach. That's good.
Yeah, right there. That's you right there.
All right. So let me ask you guys something again.
Ooh.
We're talking, talk about snuggerud here. Hockey, and Jason, to kind of go with Jason's question, here this kid is. He just gets done playing, college hockey, and next thing you know, he's playing for the Blues.
I know. I'm like, this is wild.
Why can't we have other sports draft the rights to players early and let them stay in college and play? Why is it only hockey that gets to do that?
Because hockey gets it.
You can't do it in baseball.
Because hockey gets it.
Yeah.
You could do it in hockey. You could do it in baseball. It's already set up to do it. You just need to get rid of that whole your rights are eliminated after a year thing in baseball.
I thought they got rid of that completely.
They can sign it. They just don't bring them up because they think they need to be in minor league baseball.
But you can't hold their rights, Zach. That's what Kevin's saying.
Okay, you're not talking about playing them. You're talking about letting them go.
Stay draft a high school pitcher after his senior year, and instead of him going, you just hold the rights to him. Instead of him going to the minors, you just let him go to college, and then play some off-season like Cape Cod League ball, but you still own the rights, and then you can trade the rights and all that other good stuff to those players. And when he wants to sign, you can sign and send him after he's developed a little bit, and then you can send him someplace where.
Remember who the commissioner of Major League Baseball is. The biggest dummy in the room that still can't figure out baseball. Rob Manfred is a terrible commissioner, and I agree with you. I think that would be a great idea, but Manfred will never greenlight that, and the Players Association absolutely will not touch that.
I think the biggest opportunity for this to work is in basketball.
I agree.
I agree. Drafting is who's to say and you got your Cooper Flags who could go do it right away or whatever but you're looking at some guy end of the first round who's probably just going to be a 10th player on a roster, 8, 9, 10. Wouldn't it be better for him to go play consistently? I'm going to draft his rights now, see how he develops, and let him stay in college.
No, I agree. I think basketball it's perfect.
Well, then you could actually have more rounds of the draft than just 2, which is dumb.
That's what I was going to say. With only 2 rounds, then who are you picking up? You're picking up Joe Blow from the street to play on the NBA then, because you only got 2 draft picks. Well, I'm saying because you only have 2 rounds.
Yeah, I know, but that's dumb anyway. There's so many opportunities for the NBA to have a better developmental system. Now they started with the G League and things like that, and I'm totally fine with that. Having guys, I think they could utilize it even more than what they do. The problem with basketball is it's so top heavy with talent. You've got the really goods, and then there's this big drop off to the guys who are okay, and then you got a bunch of scrub-a-dubs that they're just not good enough to really play in the league, so they can't even break in. But you do have some guys who develop late, who need that opportunity or could get better and have that opportunity. You see what it's doing right now with college basketball and the transfer portal. I think it's a way for the NBA, as bad as I hate saying it, instead of these guys staying in college, hell, draft them early, hold the rights to them. And if there was a limit on how long you can hold the rights, I think it has to be like hockey. You can hold the rights to a hockey player, I believe, for 3 years before you have to sign him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's exactly how it should be. That you give that kid an opportunity. That kid comes out into high school, and let's just say it's go back to baseball. He's a dominant baseball player, but he's maybe not the guy who can just slide right in. He needs to get a little bit of development. LSU wants him. Let's draft this kid, hold his rights, and then give him an opportunity every year to see if he wants to sign. And why not? And we're not wasting a first-round pick on him. We're wasting a second or a third. because there's an opportunity we might be able to just get this guy and take him and play. Just
I agree.
Let me ask you this then, because you all like hockey, how that translate to the basketball fan, the baseball fan, in terms of, well, we drafted this guy, we got to see him. We want to see him right now.
Well, no, it will eventually become how it is in hockey, where they draft a guy knowing you're not going to see him for a couple of years.
Hockey fans understand that.
If this was the case, Cooper Flagg would have been drafted last year as a high school kid. You probably have a limit as to what age you can draft at high school, senior year type of thing. Cooper Flagg would have been drafted as a senior, knowing full well they're going to let him go to Duke for a year and let him develop a little bit, and then maybe make the jump.
But
now, Cooper Flagg's probably he's probably a bad example. He probably can make that jump right away.
But
the Lakers could have drafted Bronny and just let him stay at USC.
So here's the thing, though. There's only 1 or 2, maybe 3 every year in hockey that when they get drafted, they're 17, 18 years old, and they go from there right into the NHL. Okay, Connor Bedard never went to the minors, never went. No. He went right to the NHL. Sidney Crosby went right to the NHL. Ovechkin, right to the. There are several guys when they get drafted, the very top, your top guys, your once in a lifetime generational talent. Very few of those guys ever even think about putting on a minor league jersey or going to college. They're going right to the pros. They're that good. If I think you could sell that to the players union, if you would eliminate the 1 year you have to go to college and say, we're going to do this, and then have the opportunity to hold the rights to these guys for 3 years, let them develop, and we're going to eliminate this, got to be out of school for a year bull crap. And I think you could sell it to the players union in basketball. Baseball, I don't know. They're stupid. I don't think you can do that because baseball unions are dumb. Jim's correct. The commissioner's dumb. Having a pitch clock is dumb. All the obscure rules. Eliminating the torpedo bat, like everybody's pissing and moaning about, is dumb. Whatever. Okay. But again, we're going to get into baseball in our next segment. But anyway, finishing remarks with any of our hockey talk. Zach, I know you've actually, put some stuff out there. I'm impressed. You must have done your homework or something.
Blind squirrel.
He's got nothing. He's got nothing. We got it out a little. That was it. That was it. He's wearing that. He's wearing that damn Duke hat. He's ready to talk about the Final Four, which they're gonna lose to Auburn, I think. Anyway, never mind. I'm good on blue stuff.
Let's go into our next segment after this.
Hold on,
this commercial break, and then we can.
Are we going Final Four next, or what are we doing next?
Whatever you want,
we're going to talk about the Cardinals.
Okay.
Jason,
what do you want to do?
You can be the new voice. You can be the new voice for
of the coaches box. Oh my
God,
my voice is good enough.
Because you have credentials.
Oh my!
No, what I was going to say.
We'll discuss this. We'll discuss this during the break. You're watching the coaches box. We'll be back, maybe.
I'm an overpowered leaf blower, and I'm not exactly street legal. And if you don't have the right auto coverage, this could really blow your budget. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Health Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming, check it out. Live, not live, we've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Coach's Box Call Like We See It podcast. This is our 229th episode of this damn thing, and surprised that we're still on. Some days I am. Some days I'm surprised that we haven't been kicked off the air, but we haven't. And Jarvis is still trying to play with his wire.
Sometimes we're surprised that Jim's here.
Well, it's always a surprise when Jim's here.
Man.
Sorry, Jim.
I
It's
mean,
just,
we have to
you're
take
busy.
shots. I mean, we do when you're not here. We might as well do it when you're here.
I know you do it when I'm not here because I hear about it from our certain official friend.
Hey, I got
Lighthouser.
a text from official friend. He's like, "Yo, dude, I love your rants. Just rail on Jim more and more, dude."
Well, I got to be nice to my accountant and our basketball official, Frank. He just dropped off my taxes. So I'm being nice to Langhauser tonight.
Langhauser does taxes?
Yes.
Well,
where have you been?
What planet are you just coming off
well,
of?
I'd have let him do mine probably, but then he'd know I'm worthless.
I think he knows.
I think he understands
I don't.
Just
speaking of worthless, how about this segue? The Cardinals bullpen is worthless. Okay, here's what I've learned. Everybody was so excited. Oh, they're 3-0. Oh my gosh, look! Oh, blah 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 blah. You saw the memes with the undefeated teams. And then our bullpen sucks. They suck. It's going to be a problem. The pitching is going to be a problem.
We knew this.
Helsley's the only guy who can do anything. We won't pitch him. We won't pitch him two innings in the game. Could have pitched him two.
You mean
no?
You mean there's
no?
Hey,
no.
You mean there's been so much excitement that Busch Stadium's been busting at the seams with fans?
No, all these people sitting there watching it at home or looking at their phone.
The game. I mean, my Lord, I don't even know how you could get a ticket to it. It's like the hottest ticket in town.
Hey,
I thought we had another COVID pandemic. I thought that's what was going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, look.
I thought it was dressed like a chair night at the ballpark.
We don't look like the best fans in baseball right now at all.
Because
we don't have the best organization in baseball either.
Well, I hope we're sending a message. I hope build the wallet, opens that gosh damn wallet.
Here, number one, they were practically giving away tickets for opening day because at one point they started calling people that have bought tickets in the past that they have contact information for, asking them if they wanted to purchase a ticket without any fees, and got that phone call. And that's why she won on opening day, because she got a ticket for dirt cheap. They were only going to sell out Busch Stadium 3 times. Opening day, and what was supposed to happen tomorrow and Saturday with the Savannah Bananas, which is now washed out, and they're going to reschedule it. And they'll still have 2 packed houses for those games in July. And here's the deal. I agree with Chris. The pitching is terrible. Sonny Gray, I have no idea what in the world he's doing right now. But the way this team is, it's not sustainable to win. It's not sustainable to what Kevin thinks is going to be 92 wins.
Is Mason Wynn ever going to get a hit? Has he gotten a hit?
Very much.
He did yesterday.
He's got a hit.
He got 2 of them.
Him and Contreras.
Oh, it's about damn time. Because I have him. He was a keeper in my keeper league, and he's been killing me. And then I drafted Contreras because he's going to be eligible at first and at catcher. It's a good commodity to have, and he sucked. But I'll tell you what, Herrera can't throw it to second base, but he can hit. He can hit.
It's the only reason why you're keeping him. It's the only reason why they had to. They had to play him. I would have put him at DH, though. That would have been what I would have done and let Contreras catch. But apparently Contreras can't catch, so we put him in the outfield for a little while, because it's easy to play outfield, right, Zach?
It's incredibly hard.
Ask Hatterberg. Hatterberg can play first, then Contreras can play first.
Instead of Wash.
Oh.
Well, I don't think the starting pitching, even though we're just 6 games in, has been awful. I think the bullpen's been absolutely horrendous. I think most of the lineup's been decent. Contreras and Wynn not doing anything has not been very good.
I think our manager sucks.
Can you please tell us something more obvious, Jason?
Well,
Who's your 3 best hitters right now, you think? Stat-wise, who's the 3 best hitters?
Herrera?
Yes.
Center fielder.
Herrera. Nootbaar.
And Arenado. Because Arenado's hitting the ball really well right now.
How are you leaving out the center fielder?
Pajes.
Arenado, yeah.
What's the center fielder's name?
Victor Scott.
He's been hitting.
Yes.
He's been hitting well.
As a team, they're getting 300 on the year.
I was going to say they're putting runs up, so that's not necessarily the problem.
Well,
I go back to
no, it's not.
I was just going to say I go back to again. We're talking about you have the 2 extra inning games with Angels, and if you're starting with a runner on second base and nobody out, bunt the ball, get a run in, and then let it see where it takes you. I mean, I just don't get the idea of, and then, or if you walk, definitely bunt, and then you got 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. It just boggles my mind.
I don't understand. If you got a guy on second, you bunt, he gets to third. You have 2 chances to hit a deep fly ball. Just get the ball in the freaking air. Now Walker tried, and he just didn't get it deep enough. And I don't get it either, Zach. I mean, it's simple base. Whitey Herzog, he would bunt.
It's not analytically sound, guys, because you don't want to give up those outs.
Here's what's good.
So dumb. How about this? Get better at bunting, and you don't get out.
There we go.
Like Victor Scott laid that thing down with a
Gorman
freaking pillow.
Lineup. I don't know how.
Yeah, he's hitting
you
500.
Got to get him in the lineup.
Here's going to be the thing. They're playing teams that don't have books on Herrera, that don't have books on Scott. Once teams start figuring some stuff out, it gets a lot more difficult for those guys.
Hey, how did you know that negative freaking Nancy? It didn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Mizzou. It doesn't matter if it's the Cardinals. It doesn't matter if it's the Blues. It doesn't
You're being
matter.
realistic. Don't worry. It's just
It
Jason.
is
It's Jason.
ball humbug. I'm Jim Powers. They all suck.
But
They're gonna
so Jim
lose.
is right in this case. Jim is right in this case. When sometimes he is negative, he is right in this case.
Right
they do not have
Nelly.
Okay, so
go ahead, Kevin.
So here's, we can talk, and the bullpen has not been the best it's been in the past, but as of right now,
they've been used correctly? Because I bet they haven't. Go ahead.
No. Yes, and there's a lot to that. They're second in the NL in batting at 298. They're fourth in runs at 42 runs, so they're scoring. They're putting up runs. Mm-hmm. They are first in WHIP, the walks and hits per inning pitched, at less than 1. They're 0.86, which is a pretty good. That's a pretty good.
So
number
they should
to
have more
there.
wins.
They're 4-2 on the year. If that translates out, that's more than 91
So tell
wins.
Lance Lynn he needs to not unretire.
Stop. Just stop.
They have one, fielding wise, they have one error on the year so far, and it's by a pitcher. Probably the starting pitcher that looked the best in Eric Fetty.
Eric Fetty did look good. Why is that one pitcher? I mean, that youngin. Why is he not here?
McGreevy?
Heck, I'd pitch McGreevy over freaking Sonny Gray right now.
He started his clock last year. I don't know why he's not
that's
playing.
Crazy talk.
Exactly.
I'm surprised he's not the fifth starter behind. With let Libator in the pen. I think it makes the pen better with Libator in the pen and McGreevy. Or why not let McGreevy and those guys have a spot in the pen? Just to get used to the major league level. You can talk about the stretch and out crap all you
screw
want.
All that. McGreevy needs to be in the starting rotation. I'm with Libator being.
Day.
I like the idea of Libator in the bullpen. I know that they got to prove it. No, you ain't got to prove nothing. You've had Libator enough to know he is what he is. Put him out there, lefty.
They're probably trying to get him so they can trade him later.
Well,
then bring him up, and then bring McGreevy up.
It's like their lineup, it's got to be right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. I mean,
put it this way: ask me after this weekend's 3-game set against Boston what I think. If they can get to it, if they get 2 or 3 off of Boston, I may have a little bit of a different feel about it. I just got to feel they're
91. Would you have a feel of 91?
No, they are not going to win more than 80 games this year. At Boston.
They're playing at
Boston. Playing at Fenway.
91 wins.
I was going to say, if they're playing here,
3 straight inter-squad series to start
home
the
of the
year.
Green Monster.
Or not inter-squad, interleague.
At Fenway.
In Boston.
Where they serve lobster rolls.
I don't know, but
get some
chat. I never thought I'd hear myself saying they're batting that well, and Gorman hasn't played much. And
Gorman's not going to play much. Gorman's not going to play much in this lineup. Yeah.
Well,
it just.
Wait, hey, the best acquisition that the Cardinals made all offseason was Brant Brown as hitting coach and hired John Jay. How about this? How about just put the damn ball in play? Let's just start with that. Like, just hit
I
the
love
ball
John Jay as a
in
player.
play,
I'm glad they have him.
Let's go.
I'm a big fan.
What are they doing differently from last year? They are swinging early. They're not waiting.
Yes, they are.
They are not seeing
waiting.
as many. They're not waiting. And again, that's what I don't understand is if you're going to be analytic driven, they know that every strike that you give up, your batting points, your batting percentage goes down quite a bit. So again, hit it.
Zach, let me correct you about their analytics. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I have to tell you this analytically driven. They're like people who think they know about math, trying to teach math. Like is not me, because I definitely don't know math, but I'm teaching it.
Right.
Only they're worse than me. Okay. And here's the thing. It's like, listen, we're going to use numbers to do what? To win a spelling bee. Okay. And that's what they were doing. Okay, that's about as much sense as it makes, the stuff that they were doing, trying to hit and use numbers. Well, it doesn't work that way. Okay, baseball is still a simple game. See ball, hit ball. Hit the ball where people aren't and hit it often. And when you do get a chance to see a fastball, like you said, they're swinging early. Not sitting there and playing the little take game. No, we're gonna jump on it. We're gonna hit that ball. Done deal. Why wait? Why wait? And like you said, it is that there's the science. There's so many those pictures of how much your batting average drops as the count as you continue getting closer to a full counter. It was 2 strikes. It's hard to do.
It's a lot like a 3-point shooter wanting to dribble instead of just catching and shooting. You know, I mean,
or someone who's shooting 16% from the 3-point line saying they need to shoot 3.
And continuing to shoot threes
over and over
and then arguing about it because they think they're a 3-point shooter. It's not the same. You can't do that.
I love the segue into basketball. I think this is a great segue into basketball because
we're not. Are we done?
No, we're still talking about Cardinals. So what do you do with Gorman?
We're not segueing yet, Jim.
I know Jim's won that early.
Jim's like this.
I've actually put it this way. I have watched more Cardinals baseball over the last week than I did all of last year. So I don't want to hear it.
Well,
Gorman, you haven't been on the show more than you were last year.
Shut up, Jarvis.
There's a couple of places they could easily use Gorman. Both Burleson and Donovan have not looked very good at the plate so far. So you can use Gorman as the DH. You can put him at second base. So you've got those places you can do that and kind of have that 3-man rotation with those 3, trying to figure out what they need to do. But until which one has already kind of stepped forward, but you've got to find a way to get Gorman in the lineup way more often than what you're doing now and just let him eat. That's the thing.
I just don't think the way that Marmolo set this lineup up, I just don't see Gorman getting very many. He is going to be that getaway guy when they decide to sit 3 other players, and he's going to be in the lineup in that scenario.
Well, then
the problem is Donovan doesn't hit.
Send his ass down to the minors. You're wasting your time.
I don't think he's got any more options.
Well,
that's the problem.
That's
he doesn't.
Stupid.
Well, plus you also lose tremendous amounts of value by sending him down.
Well, if you trade him, you're going to get something.
Well, you talked about Donovan. No, you talked about Donovan, and we just had to keep Donovan. And I said, don't get rid of old Tommy Edman. Old Tommy Edman's just leading the Dodgers in home runs, leading them in RBIs, hitting about 290 and making excellent plays out of shortstop.
I know. I need to put him in my lineup.
Bro Neal hit, what was this 4th straight opening day home run for the Yankees?
Yep. Man, Jim.
Six. I knew there was a streak, but I mean, why do you get rid of Bro Neal?
That's a streak.
Well, he was hurt.
Wait a minute. All you people wanted to get rid of Bro Neal.
I did.
I'm the only guy. I'm the only guy who was like, bro.
He needed a change.
Just because of that. Just because of that. That's it.
Right there.
He needed a new voice from the manager.
Hey, real quick stat here. Pagas is hitting 400. Luken Baker is hitting 429. Nolan Gorman is hitting 500.
But how many at-bats does Gorman have?
Yanni at bats. Let's see. Gorman has 8 at bats.
4 for 8.
Baker has 7. Pagas has 10.
Woo.
Hey,
I mean, 4 for 8 still a lot better than let's see. What is Contreras? 1 for 23.
2 of 40.
Wynn has 2 hits.
2 of 40.
Yes.
There you go.
You're not taking Wynn out of line.
Gorman can play first base.
Yep.
Burleson has as many hits as Gorman does and has 17 at bats. Let me tell you what I would do. I would put Burleson's big old ass on the bench, and I would put Gorman out there and say, "You're a year younger, buddy. Go ahead and hit. Don't care. Sit over here, lumberjack. Watch how it's done. If he strikes out, hey, at least it looks pretty."
I'm just gonna say, you know what I do? Hey, Halley, goodbye. See you later. You're fired.
If it was Doug Armstrong, he'd be like, Let's see. Is Tito out there? I'll go get him.
Oh my
We'll get Terry
gosh,
Francona. I'm going to go get somebody who can actually
I would have
manage.
taken Tito in an absolute heartbeat, and he probably would have come
I'll take
too.
Ozzie Guillen right
He would
now.
have probably come here too.
Ozzie Guillen.
I'd take Ozzie Guillen too.
Oh man,
Ozzie Guillen's another good
the
one.
Cardinals keep this pace, they will win 108 games this year.
Oh, Kevin,
not
keep
happening.
dreaming.
Kevin,
The
stop.
bullpen.
Stop.
Listen, they won't be able to keep this pace.
80.
They won't get to 108 wins, but they will get to 91.
80.
You just said
80.
108.
80.
Twins
Oh,
and the
my
Angels. Twins and the Angels. That's who
Yeah.
they played, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
Do you have
They
a cup? What's
they
in your
don't
cup?
play. Hold on.
What voices
They-
is he hearing?
Who, Jarvis?
No, Kevin.
He's hearing a lot of voices in his head right now. No, I mean,
Same ones as last year. 91
No.
wins, baby.
oh my gosh,
Nope.
no.
The wheels will fall off the bullpen and the pitching staff because that is the reason. That's the one that reason, and the fact that Ali Marmol cannot manage the bullpen or the lineup correctly are the two biggest reasons why the Cardinals will not win 91 games. I like the line. I like the team. I like the position players they have.
We'll see.
Don't like the bullpen, and I don't like Ali. Okay? I just don't. I don't think the pitching staff's where it needs to be. McGreevy should be up. Libator should be in the pen. He should be trade bait. They should have. Here's the thing. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, I wish we'd have kept Goldschmidt. And I'm like, well, that's an easy thing to say now because he's hitting the hell out of it, but he's playing on a better team. The other part of it is they should have traded Goldschmidt when he had value and picked up something rather than nothing, like they did in the offseason. They had to let him walk because they needed to.
Yes!
And they got nothing out of him.
Oh, I hope the kid ain't sleeping.
Jeez.
He agrees
He's
with
not
you, Chris.
anymore.
He agrees with you.
Yes.
And he's away.
Yeah.
Are you watching the
Yes.
Blues
He
game?
is.
You must be way ahead of me
Yeah.
because I've got it going on my phone.
There it is. It's like a
Need more
45
apple
second
juice.
delay.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
Is that Snuggy's
Snuggerud's
first
assist.
goal?
Oh,
Assist.
good for
Assist?
him.
Okay.
Give him the puck.
Snuggeroo.
Snuggy.
So what you're saying is,
Snuggy.
it'll be Jobu and then Snuffleupagus since we're doing 80s references. That'll be
They're gonna start selling snuggles, blue snuggles.
Snuggies.
It's a giveaway day next year.
Oh, God.
Was that Broberg's goal?
Yes.
I believe so. yeah.
Broberg.
There you go, Jason.
No.
Bro,
It's
Jake
Neighbors.
There you go.
It's Jake Neighbors. That's his second.
Oh, it's the neighbors? Oh,
Second.
okay. Oh, shoot.
I saw the
Let's go.
6. That's all I
Yeah.
saw.
Let's get the Hattie.
But-
Let's move on to the
Final
next
four. I
segment.
would argue with Zach. I feel like arguing with Zach.
Oh my gosh, can we gotta at least get
Go,
paid.
Bill.
Before you
Go,
go.
Bruce
Yep.
Pearl.
Going to commercial. We'll be right back when we'll be talking about the Final Four here in a little bit. You're watching Coaches.
Grandpa has to go.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
And this game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
Fire!
And if you don't have the right home coverage, you might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. So get Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm How Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling. We've got so much content on there. Gaming. Check it out. Live, not live. We've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the third and final segment of the Coach's Box. If you like our show, don't forget, I don't know what Jason's groaning about, but don't forget you can like, share, and subscribe either on Facebook until they decide to get rid of all of our previous shows, thanks to Facebook and your stupid rules, or you can go back and actually watch them on YouTube, and you can also watch them on X or Twitch. We're there for you. And it doesn't cost you one shiny penny, just your time. That might not be valuable to you if you're spending it with us, but we appreciate you guys being here, whether you're watching us live or later on, like Coach Bruce Valroy probably is. With that being said, fellas, is there any basketball that's about to be played? Is there any coming up? Zach, you look like, you might be a basketball fan. Is there any important games coming up?
Yeah, it's weird though. My gripe is if you're going to call it March Madness, you've got to end it in March. Like this whole going into April nonsense. Have some symmetry.
No, because the World Series is played in November. So
before we get into the Final Four, can I just bring up what in the world is this? The CBI that you got to pay to get into to play. Then you've got this stupidity going on Fox Sports 1 to where there were more people at the D2 National Championship game on Saturday between Nova Southeastern and Cal State Dominguez Hills than what were in the stands when I turned it on a little bit ago. There's too many tournaments. NCAA tournament, NIT, end it. It's stupid. There's my rant.
Zach is right.
It's not even about money. They're not making any money on those tournaments.
But Zach, they're losing. CBI, the only way they make money is because they're charging the teams to play in it. That's why they're making money. This joke in Las Vegas on Fox Sports is ridiculous. There's hardly nobody there. And I just don't get it. I don't understand.
WNBA is the same way.
I understand the money piece. I just don't get it. It's stupid.
Why do we still have like the Blue Bonnet Calgary Bowl? We don't even need those anymore.
We don't need the WeSuck.com Bowl.
Maxi Pad Bowl.
December 17th.
There you go. I was waiting for Chris to say it. He always says it.
Always say Maxi Pad Bowl.
Yeah.
And all I can think of when you say that is, again, who knew South Park had it right with basketball. That's all I can think
with
of.
basketball.
With the blimp coming across.
Right.
As maxi pad. Yeah, I know. It's great. Such a great movie.
Okay, I got
kids
that.
don't watch it.
The only reason I brought it up is I flipped it on just to kind of see. And like I said, I mean, and I'll say this, the D2 championship on Saturday was terrific. Jim Crutchfield at Nova Southeastern is one of the best coaches any division in America. And Dominguez Hills was a 7 seed. That's the closest that the NCAA has come to a Cinderella this year. Is the 7 seed made it to the championship game in D2 and had a chance to win at the end. But I flipped it on. There were more people on Saturday in Evansville than what are sitting in Vegas right now, and I'm just like, what the hell are we doing?
Wait, is there not a Cinderella opportunity in Division I men's college basketball?
Not with the top 4 seeds.
Oh, my bad.
They're
all four number ones made it. Didn't realize that. Yeah, there's no Cinderella. No Cinderella.
The closest
hey, that's
the
NIL.
closest Cinderella. Yeah, exactly. The closest Cinderella was Calipari in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as you said Calipari, I was done.
I was done with you.
Well, Jason, you look like you've been done for the last 72 minutes.
Is it time for you to go take a nap?
Yeah, do you need a nap?
Jim, are you kidding? The guy that shows up once every
here we go
3 or 4 months.
There he goes.
The guy,
here he comes.
Here we go.
The guy that's been pushing for commercials to get this crap going on.
I'm cranking up the monkey. I'm cranking up the monkey. Here we go.
Can't do much for himself because he can't even show up to be on our show. Too busy at the local tavern.
Oh, that's not true either. That'll be in about a half hour.
You're down. Yeah, you're going to Max.
You're dang right I am.
Yeah. I gotta work tomorrow morning. I'm like, you
got to what?
Your sack is over. You ain't got to work tomorrow.
Oh, jeez.
The sack is never over.
You see, this is big time right here. There you go, Jarvis. That's big time. Sack.
I'll never be big time, Jim, and I'm fine with that.
You are big time. So
there's just not enough sack to go around for you to be big time. I'm gonna tell you.
That's true.
I just think I hate to say got that pretty voice. You know?
Can Duke beat Houston?
Oh yeah,
Zach.
Yeah. They haven't had a close game. They haven't had a close game all tournament. I mean,
Cooper Flagg is on another level.
He is the real deal, and the other freshmen as well. I mean, when you've got a 7-2 center that can defend. Then they got the other shooting guard as well. I mean, they're ready to go.
Coming back next year?
No.
He's the number one pick.
Yeah.
He's going to be number one pick.
Him or Broom are 1 and 2.
Flagg.
I think it's Flagg.
I think he's all the way around developed.
Who has the number 1 pick? Do we know yet?
Somebody in the NBA will overthink this and not pick Flagg.
They'll say because he's white or something. It'll be something stupid. It's just one of those things.
My
it's
gosh,
pick no, it's what they'll say. Like an Adam Morrison kind of thing, or something stupid like that, or the fact that he can't tie his shoes right.
Down in G League.
I don't know. I think Flagg
will be playing in the association.
Well, that was a fast power play for the Penguins. Here, have a goal.
But for the coaches in the room, that out of bounds play that Kelvin Sampson dialed up with 1.5 seconds left. How great was that?
How many of you put it in your?
I saved it.
Repertoire.
I saved it.
I saved it.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I text Ben Sunday morning when I was driving home. I go, "Did you see that?" He goes, "No," and I go, "I've already got it drawn up."
Let me rephrase. How many of you put it in your repertoire for future years?
Yeah,
I gotta see. I gotta see where I gotta see where my future voice is taking me. And I don't know, I might get on a staff with some guy that doesn't want to listen to any suggestions. You never know. I don't know. You never know where you're gonna go.
But that
was a great play.
Oh,
great play, great finish, great execution.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kelvin Sampson's good though.
Oh, he's a great coach.
Everyone's going to be able to defend that inbounds play when you hear Sampson yelled every time that there's a
Houston
baseline inbounds play.
Or Houston,
Houston,
or Cougar, or any reference.
No, I'm going to tell you, Kevin. No, because when you have America's play, out of bounds play every game, I
was going to say,
and that still works. Here's the shooter coming out. You're going to get screened.
Zach,
Don't get
so
screened.
Or Zach,
pick the picker.
Or Zach, pick the picker.
Oh,
America's play, pick the picker. Switch.
America's play. Me and Buddy, after about the fourth time that freaking Valroy ran it one year, we were playing him. I looked at Buddy. I go, "We're putting that MF in play in our playbook." And he goes, "We know it's coming." He goes, "Coach, you're yelling it." I go, "I know, and it still works." How does that happen? You go over
Just because you yell it doesn't mean the kids execute.
Go over it, Zach. It's in your scouting report. It's on the court, and they run that damn play. I don't know how many times we ran it. We called it box, and I don't know how many times we ran it. I ran it against Miller, and he's yelling what's going to happen, and it's still work.
My favorite though is when they screen across from the block and then seal the other side, and we throw a bounce pass to the kid. I probably ran that about 78% of the time this year, and we still had an opportunity to score on it against guys that know it's coming. Now there were some people who were a lot worried about it. They took it away. But
triangle.
That's because attention spans are out the window. As soon as they stop and get a breath, their attention spans go bye-bye.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you come out of a timeout. And like we switched defenses. Well, I don't even remember what game it was this year. And I got 4 guys out there running a 2-3 zone. And then the one idiot is chasing his player. He can't notice that everyone else is in a zone.
But that goes back to
box and one.
Hey, that just goes back to not being able to critically think, because whatever is going on in their life, every adult in their life has just mowed their lawn and made it completely here, just spoon fed you everything, and they don't have to think. Like there is zero, and then you throw in the phones. There is zero thinking that ever takes place.
Zach, it's funny you say that. So Jordan Duncan this year, he texts me and like, we're halfway through November, and he's like, halfway through the start in November, and it's early December, and he goes, "Coach, I can make it work. You still have that offer?" Because I told him whenever he's ready, I wanted him to coach on my staff. He goes, "I think I can pull it off." I go, "Let's do it." So he would, he got all of his paperwork, everything turned in like 2 days, boom, was there, ready to go. And he would want to do things that I did with his group. Like, hey, we're going to run man on all of our misses. We're going to run, a 2-3 on our makes or opposite or whatever, and I'm like, you want to do that? Okay. I said, tell him. All right. How long do you think this is going to last? And we did have 3 people running man and one. They met, and he goes, "Gosh, I never realized, Coach, that on this side, it's different. And you got to know your team." Jordan and them were pretty. I had Jordan at that Reuter and Bracey. I had some kids that were pretty basketball smart, and they could do that kind of stuff. But we couldn't do anything make or miss. Like, I'd like to mix it up sometimes. And, hey, one half we're doing it this way. Next half, let's do it this way or what? No. Just some groups you can, some groups you can't. And it's amazing how many times you have a timeout and the kids don't do what you like. Somebody be like, "Hey, draw this up," and I'm like, "No, I can't.
Why?
I can't just draw that up right now in this timeout and them run it. That's not going to happen." Kelvin Sampson might have been.
I don't know. Right. I don't know how many times you draw it and you say, Bobby Joe, or whoever, Billy Joe, Bobby Joe, this is you. This circle is you. All you have to look at is you. And then they're just completely lost. It's like, no, you have one thing, screen. That's all you got to do. And it's just
Bobby Joe, you go from block to this block, set a screen. After he comes up your screen, you just roll the shoulder he hit. You roll that way and you pivot and you got the guy pinned. Nope.
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 You guys act like coaching's hard or something. I mean, what the hell? I don't know what you guys' problem is. I mean, I've lost way more games than I've won, and I still have kids who don't do jack crap when I tell them. So it's tough. I mean, there's kids who
it's
get it.
Because your voice wasn't new enough.
Oh, my voice was loud. Hey, it was new enough this year, maybe not last year.
Hey,
Zach knows.
It's just that the offense is that old.
Wow.
Damn right it is.
You know what?
I'm going to say this. Say what you want about the flex. I saw 2 teams down at Evansville in the Elite 8 run the flex.
Okay,
there
so
it is.
I was gonna
works.
I was gonna say, Jim, and we're both coming to Chris's defense. This is scary. I was gonna say the same thing about the big 64 team dance. If you watch some, they may not run like exact flex, but there is a lot of flex concepts going on.
Yep.
Screen the screener. You know
And
why?
guess what?
You know why?
That the screener inbounds play screwed us so many times. No matter, because Buddy does a good job. Coach Buddy, one of the best assistant coaches. Whoever gets my ex job is going to have an assistant coach that is probably one of the best in the state, in my opinion. He would go over that with those kids, and we'd still, he'd break down what to do. Just switch. It's not hard. Just switch the screen. You're fine. Your guy goes to set the screen. He's a screener. Just switch. Nope. But, yeah, it's just that.
You know why? You know why? You know why that works? Because kids don't take their Adderall, and if they did, it wore off. So they lose the attention span. And if you have to run through that action 2 or 3 times, if you set good screens and you watch and listen to what they do, and if anybody says to switch, you seal and roll open when you set the screen and you're wide open. That's all you have to do. And if you hedge and help, you're going to get buried on a pin down. That's all that is to it. They can't keep the attention span long enough, too, in order to know that I have to do this and do this and do this. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, crap. My guy just
we never switched against your flex.
Hey, so Kevin has been quiet
problem
for
is,
way too long.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say the problem is the kids don't have the attention span to actually run the flex. That's
and
the
then
other
we
problem.
have that. Well, no, it's because mom and dad are up there saying, shoot it! Shoot it!
Shoot the 3!
Why would you shoot
it?
Shoot the 3!
Oh,
16%. It's all coach's fault. So then that's what they're doing. And
you're
then we
0
don't
for
get to run
25. Keep shooting.
Keep shooting.
Anyway, as I was saying, Kevin's been quiet way too long. Kevin, what do you think about the Florida-Auburn matchup, which I think is the better of the 2 games?
I think Florida wins the game. Auburn's the better team, but I think Florida wins the game. I think Florida beats Duke in the title game.
Ooh.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
Hey, Kevin, I can tell you this. If it's Duke, Florida, I'm rooting for Florida. You know why? Mizzou beat that ass at Florida. So, and that's what depresses me. We've been talking about the Final Four, and and even the Elite Eight and so like Mizzou, you guys screwed the pooch.
They got the worst draw in the tournament, Jason. They got the
you
absolute
don't have
worst
to bring it
draw.
up again. I wanted to punch you through the screen.
No, they don't get a worse draw.
Yes,
They
I
played
did.
crap. No, I'm not talking to you, Jason. I'm saying they did not get the worst draw. They played crappy
was a
for a
bad
month before that game.
I agree, but that was the worst. That was the worst matchup for them.
Yeah. And now look where Ben McCollum is, Iowa, which I think is going to be terrific. And he's taking all those kids. So Drake is now going to win 5 games next year.
Hey, they got in the tournament. They made their little money for doing it. Good for them.
Oh, they made the Valley $2 million.
There you go.
You win a game. You win a game. That's $2 million going to your conference. There it is.
A lot of money
for a lot of those programs.
Here's my big thing. I just have this really hard time wanting Bruce Pearl to do anything successful.
Why don't you like Bruce
Bruce Pearl? I just don't
Pearl?
like the man. I don't. I think he's an ass.
Wow.
Tell us how you really feel, Coach.
Why is Bruce Pearl an ass?
That's how I.
Why?
Because he is.
You go down to Evansville, they think
because you're an ass.
Hey, if he's that big of an ass, then you know Chris likes him.
Wow.
Well, it goes back to
probably
just his time at Tennessee and some other. It rubbed me the wrong way.
All the cheating scandals.
I just don't like
no,
that.
I agree with you.
All of that.
When he was in Tennessee, yes, I'll agree with you. But he's calmed down quite a bit. I will say that. And I wasn't a Bruce Pearl fan initially, but he has calmed down a little bit. And
it says a lot to me about Auburn when their 2 main men coaches are Bruce Pearl and Hugh Freeze. What are we doing?
You've got the psycho at UConn. I can only imagine the dynamic at UConn between Gino, who's puffing a pack of cigarettes a day, and Hurley, who's probably drinking eight freaking cups of coffee or 8 pots of coffee a day. Can you imagine that office at UConn?
Hey, Hurley is something else, man.
He's that.
Talk about burning up all your currency in terms of like your I mean, how people think about you. Your back-to-back titles, and everybody loves you. And I mean, in less than a season, it's like, and that's enough.
And he's basically saying, you know what? Yeah, most of my kids are leaving after this year into the transfer portal. Oh well. Why would you say that right before the tournament starts? Are you an idiot?
Well, I mean, he's an idiot who has 2 national championships. So
true.
I mean, there's a lot of guys. There's a
and
lot of
he's
guys.
at UConn. He's gonna get. I mean, yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys this: since we're talking, what about all the coaching movements so far? I mean, and DeFreeze started it off, and I don't know if you guys heard his press conference, but he basically admitted that his agent was talking to Indiana's administration in February when Mike Woodson announced that he was not coming back.
And then didn't every player on Indiana's roster enter the portal?
DeFreeze has one player
or graduate.
They either graduate or gone into the portal. He's got one kid, his son.
Who transferred from West Virginia.
Who was at Drake, transferred to West Virginia, now he's going to IU.
Love it.
I'm sorry, but there's got to be a change.
Nope,
it's too
much.
much.
Just let it go. Yeah, they're gonna let it go because it's the
too
best.
Okay,
here's the number.
I sent you guys. Go ahead. I sent you guys a video about what was it? Billis said. Sign them to contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Sign them to 3-year deals with buyouts, with all this other stuff, so that if they want out, they can buy out and leave. But if you want to play like professionals, get paid like professionals, treat them like professionals.
Yeah,
sign a contract.
We were talking about this down in Evansville last week, and there was a bunch of the committee and the number came out 2,700 players in Division I basketball. 1,242 were in the portal as of last Friday.
Well, I thought it was like 1,700.
It may have gone up, but as of last Friday, it was at 12. It was at 1,243, I think. That's nearly 40% of kids. And here's the thing: not all those kids are going to find a home. Guess what's going to happen to those kids? They're going to come to D2. They're going to go to D3. They're going to go to NAIA. And guess what? Then the whole vicious circle starts again next year.
By the way,
it's about playing.
As of Wednesday morning, 1,729 players had entered the portal.
Yeah. So that number went up over the weekend. The number we were told. We were told was 12.
If you ever checked,
Jim,
if you ever checked our group chat, he posted.
I do check the group chat.
I think it's absurd that the portal opens while the tournament's still going on and in the middle of the semester.
Yep. No, Kevin, I agree with you. They've got to fix this. They've got to fix the football side, and they absolutely have to fix the basketball. Because one of the questions that came up to the coaches on the D2 side on Monday, the portal opened last Monday. These coaches are trying to coach their kids into a national championship. We've got to win 3 games last week. And the portal opens, and there were a couple media guys that asked a great question. I thought the coaches did a really nice job in answering it, but the media was asking the coaches. So the portal opened up. What are you doing? Are you working on having your assistants work on game plan and you're searching the portal to see what you can get? Because they got to make those contacts now.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Well,
Insanity,
it's what they wanted. Thanks, Ed O'Bannon. Yeah. It's all his fault. Everything now is
all Ed O'Bannon's fault.
Because he wanted his video game.
It's Ed O'Bannon and it's Sonny Vaccaro.
I know. I'm just laughing. It was such a long time ago.
He needed to get paid for that video game that it looked like him, left-handed dude,
and then you get Sonny Vaccaro. You get Sonny Vaccaro from Nike involved, and that's going to blow the whole thing sky high, and that's exactly what it did. Well, and yes, I did watch Air over the weekend, so
it's a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's a really good movie.
We say the same thing about pro athletes when they don't take the money and they bet on themselves for a bigger contract. So what these kids are doing, they're wanting to play. They've been the dude ever since Pee Wee League. And all they've ever known is I'm the man. I've been told I'm the man. And so when they go to whatever school it is and they don't play, they're like, I've never had to sit before. So I want to go somewhere where I'm going to play. I don't fault them for that. They're on 1-year contracts anyway with their scholarship. So when Jay Billis says, hey, sign to a 3-year deal, Jay can say that, but they're all 1-year deals anyway at the school. And if the school wants to say, we don't want to bring it back, the school doesn't bring you back. So they're betting on themselves.
Yeah, but Jay also said to pay the guys. So now he's wanting it both ways.
Right.
He was one of the biggest proponents for doing it. And now all of a sudden it's like, wait, this might not have been a good idea the way we're doing it.
Everybody.
I don't mind a kid going and trying to get his playing time because your situation might not be conducive. The coach might have left and you're stuck there. You might be the guy held over. I understand that. What I don't like, and there's no way to police it, is for these guys to say, I'm going to go because I'm not getting to play, or the coach is making me accountable. Instead of me working on things I need to do to be better, to be a better part of the team, I'm just going to go over here. And you're splitting hairs because is it that or is it the lack of the opportunity, things like that. So only that kid really knows what's going on, but they're going to make the decision, the path of least resistance. Zach, I'm going to go so I can play.
Well, yeah, that's what
get paid.
We're all coaches. We all understand what is 9 times out of 10 if we have ever had parent issues, if we've ever had player issues, what's the issue over? Playing time. That's what it will always be, because that's why you.
It'll always be that.
Sport.
Right.
Hey, listen, that still happens at like even the youth club sports level. Because as soon as some kid doesn't like their play, or a parent doesn't like their kid's playing time, I'm going to go to a different team, or I'm going to start my own team and go find some other way. Well, there are times when that's a good thing for them to do, to get into a different environment. But when you play for 4 or 5 teams in 4 or 5 years, what are you really getting at on that?
You're just teaching the kid to go somewhere else, and that's going to be okay.
Well, now
you're instead of telling the kid to get better, you're telling them, well, we're going to find you a better team because the coach sucks or the program sucks.
I'll leave it at this. There's now college coaches or general managers on what they're calling or all that. Parents are now getting more involved more than ever. In fact, I saw on Twitter earlier this week that a coach basically told a kid to go into the portal because his parents wouldn't shut up and leave the coach alone. Playing time, money, this, that, and the other. So the coach basically said, guess what? You're not coming back here next year. You might as well go to the portal. If not, I'm not giving you a scholarship. You're out. And most of it was because of the parent.
So when you also say transfer portal and all of these kids, we may never know. We might have to sit here and look at the breakdown and what you think the percentage would be of a coach saying, look, you might want to enter the portal because you're not going to play here. So, Chris, I understand your part of it, but it's also, look at Neon Dion when he says, I'm bringing my luggage and it's Louis. You all hit bricks. So it goes both ways in my opinion.
Well,
I agree. That's the whole thing. It does go both ways.
The one thing though, did you guys see that this thing coming out about Kentucky's women's coach? See a girl that's going to be a senior next year that's basically given everything. She's a hometown girl apparently, and apparently the coach said, "Yeah, we're bringing in a couple transfer portal kids. You're not going to play. We're cutting your scholarship loose." That's terrible. Yeah. I'm sorry. That is the part of it. That's the collateral damage of what NIL and the transfer portal is doing to collegiate athletics.
Well, that's way before that, Jim. That's well before NIL and transfer portal. Every coach would do that. Every coach that would come into a situation would do that same thing. Okay. I mean, I remember again in college and Jarvis, I don't know if you had the same coach, but going through that process too of transitioning in coaches and things like that and being like, okay, what's going to happen even at an NAIA level. So, I mean, that's nothing new. The difference is that there was the stigma. Why is this guy leaving? And he's going to sit. Now it's just, there is no taboo. There is no stigma.
Right. I think this is a topic we can talk a whole hell of a lot about over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we
probably will because
we'll talk about it.
Jason wants
you're
to
not in
hear
that
his
week.
Voice.
You're not in that
Jason wants to hear his voice.
New voice. I want to hear
new voice. New voice.
New voice.
Hey, Jim. If you want to get in on the conversation, you can just record yourself a little video, and then we'll play it, and then we'll all talk about what you said, and then that way it's. Hi, my name is Jim Powers, and I want to introduce this topic to the show, and then we'll just play that, and we'll talk about it, and then we won't get your rebuttal because you won't be here, but at least you'll be here.
Jim's a longtime listener, first time caller.
Hey! Wow!
Oh, man, this shit.
That was a good Kevin. That was a good one. I will give you that. At least that came from you, Jim. And not Captain Snuffle up against down here on the bottom.
Hey, what's the blue score?
They're in overtime, and they've got
4-4 in overtime.
So what you're saying is, hey bartender, Joe Boo needs a refill.
Well, they're on a power play right now. It's 3-on-2.
Yeah. So Kairu, do something.
No, it's
4-on-3. I'm sorry. It should be 3-on-4.
They won't.
Damn it.
No,
Never mind. Game over.
Started out 3-on-3.
Blues!
Did we?
Game
Did
over.
we win or
Why
lose?
do you give it away? Why?
Kyrie.
Sorry, you're right. It's 4-3.
Why do you give it away, Kev? Why?
What happened?
Why? Because I didn't expect you guys' internet to be so bad.
Oh, okay.
You know mine
That's
is.
11. That's 11.
Hey,
Hey!
That's
I'm
11.
surprised Chris isn't saying we're
they
going
just
straight
scored.
in."
You're right. I don't know why mine was so far behind. I didn't have it up right.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
he did say upright.
Yep.
There you
There
go.
it is.
All
All right.
All right. Jim, since you're never here, why don't you go ahead and send us out?
I'll see everybody next week. No, another great show, everybody.
We all know that's BS.
We need to do the show on Wednesday. We need to do the show on Wednesday next week. So, but no, hey, it's been another great show. Episode 229. We talked about a lot of great things, but guys, it's been a great one, and we'll reconvene next week, and hopefully we won't have to listen to Zach gloat that Duke won the national championship. So we'll see what happens on Monday. But hey, have a great week.
Hey, maybe
What?
we'll get a new voice on here next week.
Jeez. On that note, we'll see you guys next week. Deuces. We're
29.
This episode of the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more